All right, welcome to our latest Swampcast. Pat Dooley and Robbie Andreu. We're going to preview the Florida game against Texas A&M. We know this much: the Gators are going to have new uniforms. You may not like them; they're not for you, unless you're a recruit. They're for recruits. They're for players. The players are jacked up about wearing them, and they're for Nike. And Nike wants them to wear them, and Florida's agreed to do it. And not many schools get picked to do it. So I'm not a big fan. I think the big fear is that they can't see the receivers now, Robbie.
Yeah.
Like they blend into the grass.
Like Brad was saying, Frank's having a hard time finding his receivers. Now they're going to be wearing camouflage in the dark, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But you're right. Talking to Mac yesterday, he loves the uniforms. Players, recruits, they're going crazy over them. So to me, that's a big positive. Maybe it takes away the fact that they came off that bad loss a week ago. And seems to me like fans are divided. The older ones don't like them. The young ones like them. So
yeah, but again,
and you're an older one, so
but
you
it
don't
doesn't matter what I think about them. I mean, it really doesn't, and it's not going to have anything to do with the game either. But they just got to go out and try to play well and try to win a game that's going to be a hard game to win. Probably way harder than I think last week's game was.
Well, yeah, I think A&M is much better than LSU. Pat, it's a much more complete team, better athletes, better speed all over the place, and I think it's a bad matchup for Florida.
Well, especially because Florida has shown no propensity for scoring. A&M has struggled to cover in the secondary, but Florida can't get guys open anyway.
No, and you look at Patty, you can't blame the coaches for what is going to happen because Florida they have no playmakers left in the passing game. I mean, you take Cleveland out, Tony out. Who do you fear in that receiving corps now? Nobody.
Well, and just the numbers. I mean, they could be without 17 guys as scholarship players in this game. But people still are going to blame the coaches.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's their fault. They shouldn't have allowed that guy to get hurt, you know. And look, if I'm Florida, and I know they won't, and I know their philosophy is going to be this continue to tighten up and circle the wagons and try to run the ball and try to win this game.
Yeah, give yourself the best chance to win the game.
14-13 in the fourth quarter, and I would just come out and be crazy. I would be aggressive on offense and aggressive on defense, which we have not seen this year, and aggressive on special teams, which we certainly have not seen.
You're right.
We have seen almost a situation where let's just get the ball and then we'll start from there.
Yeah, Pat, it's almost like there's a fear of failure, a fear of trying something different because it might backfire on you. But right now it's so pedestrian the way they play. Defense, they never blitz.
No.
When's the last time a corner came off the edge and blitzed, or a safety blitz?
I think they had one blitz against Vandy, and it worked.
Yeah, but you don't see anything. You see vanilla defense, vanilla offense, no playmakers doing anything, and it's a night game. The crowd's going to be out of its mind. Try something different. Yeah,
and I get it. I get that when you're down players, and you're like on special teams, for example, they had a fourth-team tight end who got called for running into the punter. Fourth-team tight end. Well, he shouldn't be on your team on your special teams. Either special teams is a third of it or it's not, Robbie.
Yeah.
Every coach says it's a third of the game. You have to have. And Florida doesn't seem to put much emphasis on it. They need Urban Meyer back to coach special teams.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's probably not going to happen.
But it is amazing how you've got great kickers, but everything else about special teams is awful. They don't do anything. Kickoff return is abysmal. Nothing in the punt return game. They don't try to block kicks. It's just they're just out there.
No, and I was actually having breakfast this morning. I looked on my milk carton. There were Florida's tight ends. A big group picture.
Missing.
I mean, what's going on with those guys? Why get them the ball?
Yeah, I think the problem is, Pat, they need them to stay on the edge and block a little because the protection's poor.
They don't need them all.
No.
I mean, it would seem that you could get the ball into. We've seen DeAndre Goolsby with the ball in his hand, so we've got all the answers, guys. I mean,
sure, we do.
We know exactly what they should be doing, and I think most people I don't even think they care what they do. They just want to see something different. They want to see something change, and a lot of angry fans want to see the offensive coordinator change. They want to see the head coach change. And I will say this: you can yell and scream at Doug Nussmeier, but that's a two-headed monster.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, McElwain and Nussmeier together, they're doing what they want to do. It's not a problem with that the coordinator's not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, in fact, people they want to be entertained, and they want to see progress on offense in some way. Right now, it's just stagnant.
Yeah, it's bad, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they can, because look, to me, the season's on the line. If you lose this game, then you're just trying to get bowl eligible.
Well, yeah, technically, Pat, if they win out, which they're not going to do, they could go to Atlanta. But every game now is an elimination game, so that puts a little more pressure on you.
Well, I know Coach McElwain in his post-game speech to the team was like, it's still out there.
Yeah. Technically, it's still out
He
there.
calls it the line. Well, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they control their own destiny. And even if they lost this game, technically they still have a chance because Georgia could still lose.
Mathematically,
to
they would
Auburn,
have
and they could beat Georgia. But right now, nobody's thinking they're going to beat Georgia. So, I said, if you remember last week on the podcast, Robbie, if they could just go one-on-one in these games and make the Georgia game important, that I would be fine with that. Well, now you got to go 1-0.
Got to win this one now. Yeah, you don't have that choice.
And we'll see what happens. Texas A&M, their first visit here to the Swamp. That's kind of an interesting thing. R.C. Slocum spoke at the Gainesville Quarterback Club on Tuesday, and we talked about that, and he's excited to see what it's like here. Interesting tidbit that I did not know, Robbie. R.C. Slocum and a group went around the country looking at places when they were going to expand. He said, we just stole your north end zone. That's exactly what we did.
Nice.
Because we liked it so much.
What a great compliment, though.
Yeah, so they did it the right way. So you got that going for you, and you got scaly uniforms, so who knows what will happen. Night game, I would think people are going to be lubed up and excited and ready for it. First night game since Ole Miss.
Yeah, let's hope they hang in there long enough that.
Stay around for the. They are going to do Tom Petty again. Stay around for that. If you.
And hopefully the A&M band won't be blaring at the end of the third quarter.
No,
like that LSU band would.
Again, why can't you just go to the band and say, "Hey guys, here's what we're doing."
Start of the third quarter is ours.
You remember the old days, Robbie, when the one band would play, and then the other band would play.
And now
it's just like
dueling bands,
and it's annoying as crap.
But I love the excuse the LSU person said, "Well, this is our tradition. We do this at home. They do it. You don't do it on the road."
Well, LSU's band, the heck, well, I wouldn't let them back in the stadium if it was me, but that's next year.
Yeah,
next year, don't let them back in. Just say, "Hey, your band's not invited." All right, that's going to do it for our Swampcast, and we'll be back with you. We think we got things figured out now on the Facebook Live after the game.
I think we're gold now, Pat. We'll give it a shot.
We can't be as bad as last week.
Got a chance. Or the week before.
Got a chance.
We're regressing.
This, that, and the other. No, last week it looked like, I think it scared some kids that were looking at it.
We're like Florida's offense. We're getting worse.
Yeah, that's right. We're not progressing. We're not getting better.
And we're mentally depleted, not physically depleted.
Yes. But we have an off week next week.
Yeah.
But we're going to go full speed ahead, put everything into this week, try to give you the best copy, the best stories, the best podcasts, the best Facebook Lives, everything for you, the Gatorsports.com viewers. We'll be back after the game to give you a Facebook Live on what we thought. And at halftime, I always do a Facebook. I don't know if anybody's even watching that, but I am doing a Facebook Live at halftime. Usually just right there from my seat. So we'll do that again if you want to see what I think of what the Gators did in the first half. So all that coming up, and then open week. So we'll try to get all that to you. Appreciate you for watching. I'm Pat Dooley. He's Robbie Andreu. So long from the Sunshine State.